Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of It's me, your host, Christian Colabelli, and today we're going to explore what happens when you pair one micropitch pedal with another micropitch pedal to achieve the ultimate quad delay tone. And I've been listening to this artist that you might not be familiar with, but you should be. His name is Owain, and he's a fusion, progressive, rock, kind of melting pot genius. And for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about what would happen if I put these two pedals together to try to achieve that same kind of lead tone that he goes for in his incredible music. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. Okay, so what I've done is basically create my own two presets within micropitch, and they're aptly called Colabellied 1, or actually just Colabellied and then Colabellied 2. So let's first examine Colabellied. Okay, so what is the key to achieving this kind of quad delay harmony? Well, what you have to do is basically achieve a spread between these two delays. So in this first one, the most important thing is really where the mix is in both of these delays. And this one, I've got the mix around 53. So remember, I don't want this to take precedent. I want it to be the icing on the cake, and I want the micropitch to just kind of enhance what I already have. So let's listen to my dry tone right here. And let's check out how much this adds, because it's pretty insane. Instantly, that adds so much warmth to the signal. It just kind of rolls off the harshness. Not harshness, that's probably a little bit too brutal of a word in this instance, but it just smooths it out just enough and adds that beautiful like stereo modulation, and it just gives it a 3D character. That's exactly what I'm looking for as my base starting point for this mammoth godly lead tone, right? So again, I have the mix a little bit less than 12 o'clock. Pitch A and pitch B are right in the center. So we've got like that classic kind of micropitch thing happening there. And I have the pitch mix right down the center. I want to hear both of them equally in this instance. Delay A, I have really short. It's like a slapback type tone. Like again, hear that? And then I have my delay B around 400 to 500 milliseconds. That's probably the sweet spot that you want to go for like a nice lead delay tone. That's what I've used for my whole life. I don't even know what it is precisely, but I just know what it is by listening to it, because I've been utilizing it for over 20 years, like that type of technique. And I think that kind of slapback with that like 400 to 500 type of delay or time range, 400 to 500 milliseconds again, really works well together. And then for the modulation, I just have nice sine wave modulation. And here's the other thing, the tone is brighter on this first Colabellied preset, because again, I'm always going for the yin and the yang thing. If one delay is bright, the other one's going to be dark, and it'll balance it out. And that's the same thing when guys are using like a 2 amp kind of rig, usually one fills in the other one. That's exactly what we're going here to achieve this beautiful kind of delay tone. So that's basically Colabellied, and now let's go to Colabellied 2. Okay, now we've got Colabellied 2 queued up here. And let's hear what that sounds like, actually. Or Again, let me go dry so you can hear this. Let me pop this on. Wow, you hear that? So that is really, man, that is just such a subtle enhancement, but it's doing so much in conjunction with Call of Bel Eid, just the original Call of Bel Eid. So what I have here, I have the mix further down because this one I don't want to take precedent. I want the first one to really be the star of the show, and this is the Best Supporting Actor. Give him the Academy Award. Patrick will fly something in. Okay, and check this out. So where I had the pitch A and pitch B in the center of Call of Bel Eid, I have this down a quarter of the way. So again, I want that spread. If I have 2 in the center here, I want this to be a little bit more subtle. So we're getting that 3D spread. That's the key with this whole thing. Depth is right in the center. Oh, I'm not sure if I talked about depth in the last one, but I had that a little bit fatter than I have this one. Again, yin yang, yin yang. We're always thinking about that. The rate, on the other one I had it at 0. This one I have it just slightly up, just to give it a little flutter. But again, you're not hearing this as much as the other one, so that's not as important. That's kind of an adjusted taste case scenario, use case scenario. Pitch mix, again, you want to keep it right in the center. You want to hear both of these pitches equally because we want that stereo spread. We want to hear this big panorama of delays. Okay, so this one, the tone is not as extreme as the as Call of Bel Eid. We have it right in the center. Again, the last one was brighter. Now let's look at the delay A and delay B because that is very important. Again, we had a slapback tone. We had actually the delay was a little bit higher. It was still a slapback tone in Call of Bel Eid. We're doing slapback, but this is even shorter. So we have short, shorter. Then we have that 400 to 500 millisecond one here. And then we have delay B on this, which is super long. So we have, again, let me just hit that. Hear that? It's super long. But I don't have serious feedback going on. Like, you're only hearing like 1 or 2 kind of repeats there. Because again, I don't want it to get in the way of this single note playing, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of notey stuff or more extreme kind of like tapping techniques. You want those to come out and you want the delay to just fill it in when you're not playing. It's kind of, it just gives you a little bit of air and some wind in your sails to soar with. So again, we have delay A here and delay B here, and then from that first preset, we were in here. So we got this full wide spread. And then we have, again, the modulation is just a regular sine wave. And yeah, let's hear what both of them sound like together. Okay, you hear that? That is what we're going for right there. That's absolutely perfect. And it just, man, I don't know how to describe this without you guys just going and playing this and getting it under your hands, but the micro pitch adds so much warmth and depth to your tone. It's just like a totally different experience. Like, I mean, I could not imagine playing this type of stuff without these pedals now that I've been exposed to them, because they just really get the job done. I mean, that's why Van Halen used it, you know? I mean, there's nothing else to say there. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about. This rolls off really well too. I don't know if you noticed, but in the beginning, that beginning section, I actually have my volume like on basically like a quarter of the way up, and listen to what happens here. See that? It's just super subtle, but you still perceive all of the characteristics of whatever kind of pick attack you're doing. I'm doing some hybrid picking there, and it really comes through. And then, check this out. See? Totally different. I mean, you just have so much control. You know, certain effects don't really work sometimes when you roll off the volume knob, and these are, I mean, it just works, you know, which is great because you want something to be super expressive. So that's basically it. Now I'm gonna play a full solo here and utilize this quad delay micro pitch, Tone of the Gods, Owain, Greg Howe, Eric Johnson-y type lead tone, and hopefully I'll get this in a few takes and it'll be cool. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for joining me for yet another episode of Preset Alchemy. It's always a pleasure to figure out what type of example I'm going to utilize, and kind of sparks my creativity. And I'm really happy that I decided to stack these two pedals together like this. I honestly might implement this on my own rig now because I like it so much. So basically, you know, you don't have to go out and get two micro pitches. I mean, you could, you should, you probably should, but think about the how I was setting up those delays and how I was setting up the pitches. So remember, one delay was set super short and super long, and the other one was kind of right in the middle. So you're getting that spread, and then two pitches were here, and then two pitches were here. So I'm getting kind of more modulation. That dry chorusing effect is more extreme in one delay, and then the other one just enhances that. So yeah, take that into your own kind of creative space and utilize a quad delay and see what happens. And don't forget to go to Eventide Audio to learn more about the .9 pedal series. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell, and leave me comments below on what type of preset alchemy you guys are performing at home, and hopefully it's all magic. So I'll see you on the next one. This is Christian Colabelli signing out.